Hi class, and welcome to week 7 of ELM 210. You've made it! You made it past the benchmark assignment and now you're in your final week of this challenging class. Way to go! Give yourself a pat on the back. For this final week, we have 2 things left to do. Here I have my topic 7 announcement. And in this assignment this week, you have 2 things you need to do. You need to finish your final assignment, which is the evaluating lesson plans assignment. And you also have to upload your completed clinical field experience verification form in the Dropbox with your assignment. Without you submitting this clinical field experience verification form in the class, I am not able to see it. So I'm not able to see it in your student portal. I'm not able to see it in a confirmation email. You have to upload it yourself into the final assignment Dropbox with the evaluating lesson plans assignment. So let's go start here with the evaluating lesson plans assignment. For this assignment, you have to critique or evaluate an online lesson plan. And I have several lesson plan websites listed below that you're welcome to use. Most of them are free. 1 or 2 you might have to join in order to see the lesson plans. You need to choose one that's aligned to an English language arts standard. So don't choose a science or a math lesson. You want to choose one that's English arts related. And you will be composing a 500 to 750 word evaluation. So pay close attention to that word count requirement. And you will be answering all 5 of these categories in your discussion. So I should see a paragraph on each of these discussion points. GCU format is required, so please make sure everything is double spaced. And I have included a template, which I will show you is attached right here. So let's take a quick peek at this template before we start talking again about the clinical field experience verification form. So here is the template for the evaluating the lesson plans. And please, the very first thing I need you to do is make sure you include the URL, the direct link to the lesson plan that you located. Please don't give me just the link to the home page of the lesson plan site that you used. I need to see the actual lesson itself. So whatever link you used to find that lesson, that's the link that I need to see as well. I'll be using that link in that lesson plan to look and see how you have evaluated the thoroughness of the lesson plan, if it has alignment, what real-world relevance it has, and what kind of artifacts is the teacher using to assess students with, and engagement level. So please be thorough in this because as I stated before, there is a word count requirement for this assignment. But this assignment in general is pretty cut and dried. After last week's benchmark assignment, hopefully you'll find this one a piece of cake. So now let's go back and review the requirements for submitting your clinical field experience verification form. So here I am again in the announcements. This is, I want to focus on the second part of my week 7 announcement. Let's take a look at what is required for you to submit your clinical field experience verification form. So hopefully by now you were able to submit your clinical field experience verification form. You filled out the first page electronically and you clicked the apply button. That form was automatically emailed to your cooperating teacher, who then needed to fill out their 2 pages and click the apply button, and it would be automatically emailed back to you in a confirmation email. You were to save this document, this completed document, so that you could upload it this week in week 7. If you have the form, or if you haven't received the form yet from your mentor teacher, you need to prioritize this and call them, email them, shoot them a message somehow because you need this form by the end of this week. Now, in order to upload this file, which is a PDF file, you are going to need to upload this and your evaluating lesson plans assignment in the same Dropbox. So here what I have is a tutorial that you also saw in your UNV 108 class way long ago when you first started here at GCU on how to submit multiple files at once so that they both show up in the assignment Dropbox. So please watch this tutorial if you've forgotten how to do that. If you still are worried about one of the files not showing up in the same Dropbox, go ahead and contact technical support. They can also walk you through making sure both files show up and both files are submitted. Another way is to submit early in the week so that if one of your files is missing, I can tell you right away. We can check that out and look at it. If for some reason one of your files does not get uploaded correctly, please attach it in the individual forum, because that way at least it's still somewhere in the class. However, it is your responsibility to make sure that both of these files end up in the assignment Dropbox. Okay? If you do not have your completed clinical field experience verification form, if something's missing, if your hours are not recorded correctly, if the signature is missing, there is an automatic 20% deduction from your final assignment, and that's per GCU policy. That's something that is automatic. If you're not able to complete it or it's not submitted completely in week 7, then you will have to make up the hours or submit the form once it's completed to a different department. So once the class closes on Sunday, I no longer can accept this verification form. So everything that you need to make sure that this is completed and uploaded in the class, make sure you start early on this week. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me in the QTI or individual forum about this verification form. You can also contact technical support if you've had any issues with it. But I do need it with your final assignment on Sunday. Okay, if you have any questions, just let me know. And I hope you have a wonderful final week of this challenging class. You're almost done. You can make it. Keep your chins up, and thank you so much for all of your hard work. Have a great week.